What truly happens when the light goes out? Have you ever paused to think about the mysteries surrounding death? It is a shadow that permeates our lives, the harsh truth that many choose to avoid. Yet amid this darkness, there is a call to uncover hidden truths revealed in ancient texts. You might wonder, is death the end of everything, or merely a transformation? Imagine stepping into a vast labyrinth of wisdom, where the Bardo Thodol and the Kybalion intertwine, guiding us through the profound journey of the soul. In this video, we will dive deep into the essence of these classic esoteric teachings, which show that death is not a barrier, but rather a veil that unfolds for those who seek. The Kybalion, with its ancient secrets, teaches us that everything is transformation. Death is nothing more than a passage to a new state of being. Every life we lead, every love we share, draws us closer to this truth. As we explore the Bardo Thodol, you'll discover that, from a Buddhist perspective, death is just a transient moment, a portal that liberates the soul to reach its true potential. Here, you are not alone in your curiosity about what lies beyond what our eyes can see. Ancestral wisdom reveals that preparation for this moment begins now, in this life. So visualize death as a beautiful metamorphosis. Remember, what you carry in your heart and mind will shape what comes next. Each passing day offers you the chance to free yourself from the chains that bind your soul. In the pursuit of spiritual transformation, we find meaning even in the darkest transitions. As we explore these mysteries, always keep in mind, knowledge is the light that dispels shadows. The truth about death should not be a burden. It should be an invitation to discovery, an awakening to your own essence. The Kybalion serves as a radiant beacon amidst the darkness, guiding those who seek to understand the mysteries of life and death. This text, filled with hermetic wisdom, unveils profound truths about the soul and its journey. Have you ever taken a moment to consider what truly happens to us beyond life? What if death is not the end, but merely a passage to something greater? The teachings of the Kybalion discuss universal principles that shape existence. For instance, the principle of cause and effect reminds us that everything is interconnected. When you take an action, its impact does not just remain in the physical realm. It resonates through time, touching your soul and the souls of others. This understanding can serve as a key that unlocks doors to a new consciousness, a consciousness of spiritual transformation, even as physical life fades away. Just as the Bardo Thodol guides us through the transition after death, the Kybalion invites us to reflect on the continuity of the soul. Imagine that as a leaf falls from a tree, it does not simply disappear. Rather, it transforms into another form of life. In this way, death is merely a new twist in the cosmic dance of existence. The Kybalion also discusses mystical experiences that occur when we free ourselves from the shackles of matter. When you meditate or connect with your essence, you realize that what seems to be an end could indeed be a new beginning. These moments of clarity reveal that the spiritual transformation of the soul is always within reach. So how can you apply these teachings to your life? It's simple. Start observing how your actions shape your reality. Every small gesture of love, every conscious choice, constructs not only your present, but also your spiritual future. By understanding this, you begin to prepare for the transition we all inevitably face. And remember, the quest for answers is a journey passed down through generations. Opening yourself to the secrets of the Kybalion can illuminate your path on this journey. After all, are you ready to discover what lies beyond the veil that separates this world from the next? Diving into the Bardo Thodol means embracing the mystery of the soul's passage, a true guide that offers us deep insights into transformation after death. Imagine life as a journey where each experience shapes the path you travel. At the end of this journey, what awaits you? The Bardo Thodol introduces us to 3 crucial states, each revealing a different aspect of this transition and the choices you make. In the moment we refer to as the Bardo, when physical life comes to an end, you encounter the pure, clear light. It's an indescribable glow, a truth that appears in its most radiant form. Here, everything is revealed, your deepest being, your true essence. If you can recognize this light as part of yourself, liberation becomes possible. You feel light, free, ready to dissolve into the mists of the beyond. But what if it doesn't happen that way? Many souls, drawn by fear and attachment, fail to comprehend this light. They become lost in the shadows of their memories and illusions. Thus they enter the Bardo, the second state. Here visions arise, both peaceful and turbulent. The gods and demons you encounter are reflections of what you carry within. They are images of what has been repressed or desired, a mirror of your own soul. In this space, the visions can be terrifying, especially for those who are unprepared. However, if you can maintain a state of awareness, these visions turn into opportunities for insight, to recognize that everything is a creation of the spirit, a game of the mind. And so even in chaos, there are paths to clarity. As you progress to the Bardo, the choice for your next incarnation takes shape. You find yourself caught between desires and fears, driven by the urgency to be reborn. Every action and thought leaves marks that define your new body, your new life. This is a moment of decision, a reminder of what truly matters. Here, practice and knowledge make a difference. If you have managed to see through the previous illusions and maintain your awareness, you can choose to break free from the cycle of rebirths and immerse yourself in the light. In each Bardo, the wisdom accumulated becomes a beacon. The Bardo Thodol is not just a text. It's an invitation to reflection and a spiritual map. It teaches us that every transition is an opportunity to grow, learn, and above all, release everything that no longer serves us. What will you choose to discover at the end of this journey? The answer could change everything. Imagine that hermetic principles are like magical keys. They unlock doors that lead to deep secrets about life and death. These principles are ancient teachings that help us understand not only the cycle of life, but also what happens to us after we die. Have you ever considered how these keys could assist you in facing the unknown? One of the most powerful principles is that of correspondence, which tells us, as above, so below. This concept encourages us to recognize that everything is interconnected. Thus, the experiences we have in life reflect what may occur after our last breath. By acknowledging this connection, you gain the courage to confront death, transforming that moment into a passage rather than an end. Another principle is the law of vibration, which teaches us that everything in the universe is energy. Now think about your own energy. How does it shift when you feel fear? The fear of death can feel as heavy as a storm. However, by understanding that you can elevate your vibration through love and understanding, you can disperse that storm and open yourself up to a brighter experience. So how can you apply these principles to your life? Every thought and action is a step in the dance of life. When you recognize that your feelings about life and death shape your reality, you begin to live with a new perspective. It can be daunting, I know, but every meditation, every reflection on your own mortality is a step toward freeing yourself from that fear. It's not just about how to live, but about how to die, as an act of love and courage. The Hermetic teachings invite you to look within and ask yourself, what am I learning today that can help me transform this uncertainty about death into empowerment and light? The true wisdom lies in realizing that death is not what it seems, but a part of the eternal cycle of life. With each key you use, you draw closer to a deeper understanding. What mystical experiences surround death, according to Tibetan Buddhism? Imagine death not as an end, but as a beautiful portal, a passage to a new and surprising beginning. As the soul transitions into the unknown, it encounters a series of experiences as unique as the glow of a star in the night sky. But what really happens? The Bardo Thodol enchants us with its magical vision. It teaches that after death, what prevails is the mind, where every thought and emotion becomes a vast universe of possibilities. In this space, everything intensifies. Repressed feelings, fears, and memories emerge as powerful visions. Have you ever noticed how everything feels so vivid and real in your dreams? Now imagine that magnified beyond your understanding. Here, death is an opportunity for learning. In the Chikai Bardo, the soul may be overwhelmed by the brilliance of the clear light, a state of pure being where everything is revealed. If the soul can free itself from fear and recognize this light as its own essence, liberation becomes instant. A moment of courage can open the doors to eternity. However, for those who hesitate or are bound by the chains of attachment, it can be a terrifying confrontation. As you enter the Chonyid Bardo, this journey becomes even more intriguing. Here, you begin to see projections of your own consciousness. Visions that can be both angelic and unsettling reveal the secrets you carry within. The gods and demons that appear are not foreign. They are part of yourself. When you encounter these manifestations, the power lies in realizing they are mirrors of your own being. What will fill your mind in moments of transition, light or shadows? At the end of this journey, when you find yourself in the Sidpa Bardo, the choice of a new body is dictated by your own karma. Life's experiences, like a tapestry, intertwine to shape what you will choose to become next. What will your new beginning be? Do you realize that each reincarnation is a new chance for growth? Here, on the edge of the unknown, death transforms into an invitation to rediscover what it truly means to live. How can you prepare for this transition? Why not start examining your fears and desires while you are still walking in this world? After all, the true magic of the portal is made up of the preparation you undertake while you are still here, in this moment. So what will you choose at the dawn of your own portal? How about viewing death as a grand portal? When you arrive at that moment, your soul is like a small candle that can either melt away or transform into an even brighter light. Liberation and spiritual transformation occur when you allow yourself to pass through this door, exploring all that you are and all that you can become. Imagine that each transition in your life, not just death, but also changes, challenges, and new beginnings, is like the waves of the sea. In fact, each moment of transition offers a chance to be reborn, to leave the old behind and embrace the new. The Kybalion teaches us that everything is in constant motion. There is no act of death without a cycle of rebirth. As we meditate on the teachings of the Bardo Thodol, we come to understand that death is not an end, but a beginning. The very nature of being human shows us that by letting go of old patterns, we can uncover deeper layers of ourselves. On this path, each of us possesses the strength to liberate ourselves, much like a phoenix rising from the ashes. In these moments of transition, connecting with the essence of who we truly are is essential. Embracing these moments can unlock doors to an internal rebirth, overflowing with possibilities. Through contemplation and spiritual practice, you can discover the ability to connect with that inner light, transcending the pains and fears that have held your soul captive for so long. These experiences teach us that each fear we confront carries with it an opportunity for transformation. If you can let go of limiting beliefs and embrace the unknown, liberation will become accessible. As your inner light shines, you'll realize that what seems to be an ending is, in fact, a beautiful new beginning. It's these transitions, when faced with courage and awareness, that can lead us to profound spiritual transformation. That's why it's so important to be present, to cherish every moment and every lesson brought by these experiences. Are you ready to step through the portal? Imagine that death is not just an end, but in fact, a beautiful invitation to a new beginning. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Think of death as a mysterious door, a passage that we all eventually cross. Yet this passage brings with it one of humanity's oldest companions: fear. A fear that can feel as overwhelming as darkness itself. But what if I told you that this fear could transform into an opportunity for growth? Esoteric traditions, such as those taught in the Bardo Thodol and the principles of the Kybalion, offer a fresh perspective on this often feared subject. The Bardo Thodol reveals to us that in death, there is a chance to observe the lights of our own consciousness, a moment when we can free ourselves from the limitations of the body and move beyond the shadows that surround us. Imagine that when facing your own death, you could view it as an opportunity for liberation rather than an end. Wouldn't it be incredible to realize that the fear of death is actually a sign that there is so much more to be experienced from this cycle? The Kybalion speaks of the law of polarity, showing us that everything has its opposite. Thus, where there is fear, there is also love and transformation. It's as if the fear of death calls us to embrace life more fully, to make choices that truly matter. Consider the mystical experiences reported by some individuals as they approach death. They don't speak of terror. Instead, they describe visions of familiarity, a lost home, reunions, and unconditional love. This shift in perspective teaches us that death can be a rebirth, a return to our essence. By confronting your fears, you create space for growth. You may start to understand that life is a continuous process of dissolution and recreation. What are you willing to let go of to live fully? If you can accept death as part of the human journey, you might find that what once seemed a monster transforms into an ally. So ask yourself, how can you use this transformative perspective to shape your life today? Imagine life as a grand journey and death as just a change of road. At each turn, there's something new, something that teaches us and transforms us. And when that moment approaches, it's essential to be ready for the transition, much like an explorer prepares for a new adventure. Esoteric practices play a valuable role in this context. They act as lanterns that light up the darkness of the unknown. Deep meditations, visualizations, and purification rituals are some of the tools that can help us face death with serenity. Through meditation, you can connect with your inner self and realize that the essence residing within your body is eternal, even if the physical body is not. The Kybalion, for example, teaches us about the interconnectedness of all things. With every thought and action, we create waves that ripple across the universe, and as we detach from the fear of death, we open the door to transformation. Think of death as a doorway leading to new realms of consciousness, and by accepting this passage, we can cross it with love and gratitude. The Bardo Thodol also suggests that as we prepare for death, we learn to listen attentively to what surrounds us and to heighten our perception of life. This helps us to view the transition not as an end, but as the beginning of something wonderful. Find moments to reflect on your life, acknowledge your emotions, and take time to embrace the lessons each experience brings. Through daily practices like gratitude and contemplations on impermanence, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of life itself, allowing us to appreciate every moment as a gift. These moments can be small, such as feeling the warmth of the sun on your face or the fragrance of a flower, but each carries the potential to prepare us for the significant change ahead. Remember, every step you take towards self-understanding and unconditional love is a progression in your journey. Preparing for the transition is, in fact, an act of living fully, and by embracing this, you not only transform your perception of death, but also your path in the world. Now that we have completed our exploration of the mysteries of death, it's time to reflect. How can understanding this great enigma open doors to your spiritual transformation? Take a moment to think. Death is not an end. It's a beginning. It's like a shell breaking open to reveal the hidden pearl within you. The teachings of the Kybalion and the Bardo Thodol offer profound messages, woven like tapestries of wisdom that invite us to look beyond the veil of illusion. The Kybalion speaks of the principle of correspondence where, as above, so below, teaches us that everything is interconnected. This interconnectedness echoes in Buddhist understanding, which tells us that the transition of the soul is a return to what we truly are. Each bardo, each passage, is like a wave in the ocean of existence, constantly changing, always flowing. By understanding the cycle of life and death, you can break free from the chains of fear. Every mystical experience we face at the moment of death becomes a new lesson, a step towards discovering the essence of the soul. It's an invitation to transformation, a chance for rebirth. In reality, every moment is an opportunity to let go of what no longer serves you, whether in life or as you move through the bardos. As a traveler, you have the power to choose your path forward. What burdens do you wish to release? What resonances echo within your being? As you reflect on all of this, I invite you to consider what you have learned. How can this shape your choices and actions in life? The freedom you seek is not just beyond life. It exists here and now, in this very moment. Your spiritual quest can continue to flourish, leading you to new horizons of understanding. For this, be willing to explore, to ask questions, and to remain curious. If these reflections resonate with you, subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts, and dive deeper into this journey of self-discovery. In the comments, share how your understanding of death and spiritual transformation impacts your life. Let's work together to turn every question into a step closer to the light.